I'm an earthworm woman. In the mornings, I fill my tanks by breathing the energy of the sea and tasting the power of the sun penetrating my skin. There's an air of no care, which comes with age, and I hold my head up proudly, liking who I've become. I'm not afraid of smells, or dirt, or to walk barefoot across the stones. Sometimes I wade through the shallow water just to embrace its fluid element, my hair often crazy and loose, being pulled by and flying in the wind. I can be glamorous if I want to, although makeup was never my thing. And I've learnt that life is for living, not fearing, and so I absorb it like a sponge. Good morning everyone, grand rising. I was thinking, okay, I'll do a live, I'll do something on Monday. I was thinking that this morning, but then I realized, it's Monday, shit. I was going to actually see if I could get this guy Max to come on, but anyway, it's Monday already, and so I don't want to just keep leaving these sessions empty, because even though I don't necessarily have earthworm woman like health related things guests on, there are plenty of things to talk about. Even if I just talk about it for just a little while and give you an update on what's going on with me and what's going on with and what I'm doing, because I will have to have a bit of a break up until when I finish the filming, because in just under 2 weeks I'm shooting the feature film of Marooned, and it's not just a matter of shooting a play, it's actually I'm currently let me do comments in case anyone's there to talk. Hi Annette. I'm doing all the right things. I'm scheduling it. I have a cast who are a little bit unavailable on 2 days, so I'm trying to fit it into those days, which is very difficult because the scenes are quite long, working with my DOP on that. And I have been, doing the whole storyboard thing, and now back to sponsorship. So I don't expect people to give money at the moment. I understand we're all in really struggling times. So when I talk about that, talk about fundraising, it's basically, if you think, oh my goodness, I know someone who would be really interested in chipping anything, $50, $20 into helping to make a film, which is really tackling this issue of suicide in the right way. And that's what we've been sort of told over and over again over the years, that Marooned does it in a way that actually makes people think, and it makes it just not, whatever change it creates, you can't claim to doing major things, but it's certainly not a piece that brings people down. It brings reality of suicide to the top, and it gets people talking, but it actually inspires people to live. So gives them hope, makes them realize that as humans we only have each other, and we're here. Oh, hi Denise. Why don't you come on, Denise? Hello. Why don't you come on? I can send you the link. As humans, we should be there for each other, and I realize that more and more. We especially at the moment, and we who think the same, ish, within reason. Obviously, we can't all be exactly the same thoughts, but we've gone the same way over the last few years. We specifically have to help each other. I've got now I've got Hemp Flower, I've got Madalena with her intimate duet, I've got Go to Life, and Orgone Effects, and now I've just taken back on Survival Seeds as affiliates. Now, Survival Seeds, I'll just say, I had some, and the problem with what I did was I planted them out the front in a big thing, and they grew really well and everything, but I didn't weed them or anything like that, so I couldn't work out what was the survival seeds and what were the weeds. So I just thought, I'm not going to bother to eat them, which is really bad and a waste. But I've got loads more. But they are a very, very good thing. And so I'll put the affiliate back up there. We've got Stuart, who's up I think he's in New South Wales, who runs Survival Seeds, and he said he's just so many people now buying them. So if you want to help me again to do what I'm doing, and also get something which is possibly something we're all going to need in the next 6 months, even, we don't know what they're going to do, and they're not expensive. I would suggest get yourself some survival seeds and use the code earthworm10 if you do. So where I am, I'll just go back to Marooned. I just thought, as I said, I'd keep in here. If Denise wants to come on, I will. If you can read that. Hemp flower oil is an incredible stuff for many, many different things, but it's good that she's also a sponsor of Marooned, because bad mental health is something that hemp flower oil can really help. It's good for arthritis. I'm just a little plug here. Anxiety, bone growth, relieves pain, all kinds of things like that. And so she's one of my sponsors for Marooned with her hempflower.com.au. And so where I am with Marooned, I'm about to shoot on the 12th, but it's getting a little bit scary now. I'm going to have to redo some of the costumes. And what I need to do is really try and make sure that we can fit the filming into the days that we've got, because I've got 2 cinematographers, I've got 2 sound people, I have a clapper, I have someone who's a director on the set, I have an assistant director, and then about a stills person, and maybe one other. So it's about 10 people, a crew, and 4 actors. Well, someone will have to do catering. So this is all the things I'm raising the money for, to pay people, because I am paying them the proper rates that they expect, and I'm giving my actors a good fee. And good morning, Robert. So I'm just rambling to myself today. So if anyone wants to join it in, you can join in on the side with comments, or you can say, hey, I'll come on and talk, and I'll send you the link. Because otherwise, I just wanted to fill in what I'm doing and why I haven't got a show today. So yeah, the next Monday, what's next Monday? Oh, I can do a show on the 13th. Yeah, I'll get something for the 13th. And then from the 18th, that whole week, I don't even know what day this weekend is. I'm going to be filming and the location is another expense. So I just wanted to say there's a kind of a challenge out there with Marooned. For anybody that has missed out, and sorry if people are repeating, Marooned is written by Michael Gray Griffith, who is my ex, and we lived and worked together for 20 years. And Marooned for the last 9 years has been a play, and we We performed it all over Australia. I'm sorry, not all over Australia, all over Victoria, all over parts of New South Wales. We were invited up to Canberra to perform for the Chief of Army and many VIPs. The Australian Army totally believe in this piece, as do people overseas. Australia, it's very difficult to get something up around the subject without sort of getting into all the things of what you can say and what you can't say. But this piece does it incredibly well. And if I come across people who say you can't do something because you can't talk about the words, personally, I don't believe that. And the reason I don't believe that is because the whole piece is about talking. And many people, I know everybody has their own way of dealing with the subject and their own way of dealing with their own, what triggers them. So I'm never going to say that it doesn't affect some people. But the most people I talk to who are survivors or who know someone who've taken their lives or whatever, believe that you have to go this way. We have to mention all the words. You have to not shy away from the fact that people do it. And more and more and more, I see, where was I going? I was just reading that comment. Sorry. More and more and more. Oh, I see people who have lost so many people. I've got friends who've lost their sons. So I know that this is probably the worst time ever to do something like this because of the financial state of people and trying to get something up in this time. But if I don't make it now, when am I going to make it? I'd already decided to make it. I've got the actors, I've got everybody on board. So I'm making it for a very minimal budget. I'm just covering costs. I am just making sure I pay people. So I'll just go back. So the background of the piece is it's been a play, and everywhere we took this play, people said, you must get this everywhere. And so that's why I'm doing the film. And so I put out a Substack on Michael Singh recently, and I got approached by a guy called Richard, who told me that he's setting up a charity, and he wants to donate $10,000, up to $10,000. And what he'll do is he'll meet whatever donations I get up to that, he will meet. And so I got off to a great start on the first day. I got 625 or something, but of course it's stopped, and I haven't been promoting it because I thought I'll let people have some Easter time. But apart from the people I know and the people who watch everything, if you know people who perhaps would like to put something in, I would really appreciate it if you pass that on. It's all in the notes down the bottom of this broadcast today, because I mean, there's all kinds of different ways people get to that point. I spoke to that guy Pete, whose life was just seemed to be like one punch after the next. Then I spoke to Lenny, who's riding around Australia because his good friend took his life. He's talking about suicide, and he's connected to a very big charity, which seem to do, I don't know, they do a lot of very big things. So I want to support Richard, and he wants to support me. And it was actually it was quite sad when I had the Zoom meeting with him, and he talked about why he is doing it. And there was another guy there, and they both have pain. And I think it's an amazingly good thing if you have had pain or still have pain, or you've had struggles in your life and you actually want to do good for other people. I mean, I have to say, I'm doing this because I want to do good for other people. I actually don't have bad mental health. I guess I have had periods in my life when I have had that. But I see a lot of people struggling around me, And I'm just doing my camera. And I do want to, I think I saw that up there. I'm just going to read in a minute, Denise. I do want to do something good in the world. I think acting, I love acting, and I love to do comedies, and I love to do all kinds of things, but I also really want to do this piece because it can do good. So I'm stepping away from, well, I don't know, I'm just focusing on this. And I'm just going to put this on here because this is all about, this is all about hemp flower products. So I'm just going to do a little plug because Denise refuses to come on. It's a whole hemp plant extract, also known as a full spectrum CBD oil. Organic hemp workplace and roadside safe. Organic hemp workplace and roadside safe. I've had it before I've driven. Low THC. Please check out the website where there's a TED talk by a doctor about the endocannabinoid system, our master system, and why this oil is literally all we need for holistic balance. And it's www.hempflower.com.au. 10% off the sale on now. All proceeds today will go to Marooned. Only 3 drops twice a day. 30 ml bottle can last a person up to 3 months. My goodness, she is such a generous human. Denise, stop. And she's going to be making gummies. She's making gummies as we speak. Wow. Those are very good. I know, I know Kim was using those. I'm going to put your website back on there. WA, sad for fact. Well, this is why, you see, Annette, if I can't get this play to WA, and obviously other people can do it, but now I'm making the film, and once I have filmed the film, then we move to post-production. I should have this whole thing ready by, I reckon, around July. And then that's when I will be sending it out to small theatres and organizations and all kinds of things. See, this is the thing. Denise she practices what she believes and where she's come from. On antidepressants for 20 years, suffering with chronic depression, anxiety, panic attacks, migraines, no pharmaceuticals in the 5 years I've been taking it. There we go. So it's www.hempflower.com.au. And she's 10% off today. So have your shop open today? So she has a shop up in Townsville. When I get to the post-production, there's a chance I might be able to go. I might be doing this up in Queensland. Hopefully I've done that right. Up in Queensland, because there's another woman, Sandy, who is seeing about getting me a grant to do that. So that would be fantastic. And I mean, it doesn't matter where I am. I'm still going to finish the production. If I get some funding to do that, that would be amazing. I don't tend to get funding through the main. People always say, "Why don't you approach Film Vic or Creative Victoria or even the councils?" I have had council funding for Marooned, I have to say. Up in Castlemaine, I had some council funding. I also did get Victorian government grant through the National Centre for Farmer Health. I got a grant through them. But the bigger ones, I don't know, they don't seem to want to fund this film, or fund this play, because I suppose we don't do subjects like this in this way. I'm extremely excited about the outcome of this. Working with the DOP the other day, and we were both seeing how we could do it. And when I've been going through the storyboard, I've been looking at it from how, with a play, you have to make sure that you're facing the audience, obviously, and you don't put your back to the audience, and it's all directed in a different way, and you also have to really project. But with the film, all of that's out the window because you've got a space you can use, and you can go into the quiet stuff really with close-ups, and actually really get into the eyes of the person. Whereas with a play, you can see it, but it's not the same. So I think it's going to be magnified. All of the incredible emotions and things that these people experience is going to be such a beautiful magnification. I'll just give you a little bit in case people don't know anything about it. So it's 4 people who have all attempted to take their lives. And there's a psychiatrist, there's a tradie, there's a young boy from the country, and there's an everyday man who's just worn out by life. He's done everything he can. He's been kicked out of his wife's kicked him out now, and life just got to him. So he did everything. He worked and worked, and he worked for the man. Paid the mortgage, paid the bills, took the kids to this, and it's got to a point where he was all too much, which is where I think a lot of men get to that point, and that's why they often they call it what do they call it? The way they do it, it's just like done in the spur of the moment. Whereas women often it's more of a cry for help, and they plan it. And so men are more successful. It's sort of an impulse thing, which is wrong. And that's why men need to be able to express when they feel they've got stuff going on, or they feel very vulnerable, or they feel like they're falling. They need to be able to talk, somewhere to go to talk. And that's what this story shows, that we are, they use more violent methods, that's right. Which is also evident, which comes in this piece. So there's these 4 characters. I play the psychiatrist, who have all attempted to take their lives, but we don't see any of that. We're 4 people, they are stuck, marooned in a room. And it's like a waiting room, and they don't even know where they are. They don't have names. They're just known as numbers. And it could be like the waiting room in the afterlife or whatever. But what it is they are almost holding in it. What do you call it? So they've attempted. They don't know if they've been successful or they've failed. So they're waiting to find out. It's sort of set in that place where someone, if they jump, there's been survivors who've jumped from bridges, and they say that moment they jump, often they change their mind, and they go, and that's where this piece is set. And these people haven't necessarily changed their mind yet, but they're in a holding bay sort of thing. And then they end up connecting and talking and realizing, and through absolutely just through opening up to each other, which they don't want to do in the beginning. Like they're completely different people. It's like if you're on a bus or something, you're on a train, and you don't want to talk to everybody. I don't want to talk to that person there or that person there, but maybe that person I do. They're strangers, but one of them, the one who has the sort of the father figure type, the man, he gets them, realizes the only way that they can go back to their lives, if they're going to go back to their lives, and that's whether they've failed at that suicide, is that they have to talk, and they have to deeply talk, and they have to really connect, and And so that's what happens. And then they realize, one by one, they realize, especially the young one, that he's changed his mind, that he actually does want to go back, and he can express, um, maybe go back and try again with his family about what was going on with him, and tell them about his problems rather than leaving. So that's sort of saying, that's okay. Yeah, you can go back and look, Anna. It's me just rabbiting to myself about everything today. So, yeah, so it gives people a second chance, which is what they don't get if they've done it by means which are really horrendous. And if you talk to people who have attempted, they will always say they're glad they're here, and that they've, you know, that they have a reason to live, which we all should have a reason to live. We've been given this life for whatever reason. We don't know that. We don't know why we're here. But they look at how this generous this woman is. You've got to go to hempflower.com.au and check out her stuff. Seriously, she's there's generous and there's absolutely generous. And she's really goes beyond. And she's a gorgeous woman. I'm going to have to get to Townsville to meet you. Seriously. And she has these tea parties as well, don't you? On Saturdays. Yeah, Anna, what I'm doing is I'm just trying to explain why I haven't been doing Earthworm Woman, because I'm swamped in what I'm doing, because I have to make sure I do this absolutely properly. And I'm doing like about 3 people's jobs anyway, because I don't have a budget to get someone go do the costumes, get someone to do the scheduling, get someone to do the storyboard. I have to do it. And I'm trying to have a bit of a life at the same time. But when I can. So I'm going to go, and I don't know if op shops are open today. I'm going to go and continue on with I've got to change my costume. But what I was saying was, about people who are survivors, and they realize how precious life is. And so that's, this is this is a religious 4 days, but people are aware that there is we're aware that we're here for a reason and a purpose, but we don't really know what that is. And I do think as humans, we've created this chaotic world to an extent, not us specifically, but all the people that put all the systems in place have put them in there to make us fight each other and have bad blood and everything. And we have to get past all of that and just find the true essence of why we're here, and learn to live in a different way, in a peaceful way, and in a loving way. And when you open up to being like that, then you can see people when they're struggling. I feel like I'm a bit of I always gone about things like that. I put a rant that I just did for me the other day, and I put it up on my page. I thought, whatever. And I saw one of these women that I talked to this morning. I've seen her a few times on the beach, and she's always on her own. She told me that she walks 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, what? That's actually a bit dangerous, but she seems to be making it later, because I keep seeing her, and now we keep chatting. And I said to her, "How are you today, Michelle?" And she said, "I am fantastic. I feel wonderful today. I feel absolutely wonderful." And normally she's like, "Yeah, I'm good," or just, we don't even do that. "How are you?" She's just a bit, quick and moves on. And I said, "Why is that? Why are you so wonderful today?" And she said, "Because I've been out there looking at the sea and taking in," and we both had just seen this beautiful image of these birds coming down, touching the water and going up. And I was like, I wish I had my camera. I wish I had my phone. But she said just taking in the beauty of the sea and the birds and you know, not necessarily the people, no, often, no, but just allowing yourself to be in touch with nature and in tune with nature, and it opens up so many things, opens up your creative head. It opens up your, well, in her case, I suppose, just a happy thing, being able to be very happy that day and bring joy to her family. And so, yeah, I don't, I'm whatever. I just think more and more these days, I just think we have to just try and be as much in tune with that and in balance and in touch with, we are here for a reason. Uh, we have to get rid of and try and disassociate all the rubbish that's going on. I mean, I know we probably can't help it if they do start, doing fuel shortages and things like that. But then, well, we find other ways, and we will. So, if anybody wants any questions, no, anyone want to talk about anything? Because I'm happy just to talk to comments. Talk to comments, distract ourselves because they're trying to distract us with flying things up into space. Maybe, I don't even know what, who to believe around all the. Exactly, there's just so many distractions. So many distractions. I'd rather have a human distraction. I'd rather, I met up with some of my lovely sisters the other day, and when I call them not my blood sisters, but my freedom sisters, who I met. Well, I probably met all of them at the protests. And I'm going to do a shout out to the ones who came. There's Marie Romanos. A lot of people probably know her. She, you'd always see her with the speaker down at this is, how many years ago is that now? Down at the Parliament House, and she was also in my documentary that I made, Women of the Steps. And there was Josette and Kate, who lives up in Alice Springs. And Kate comes down here to see her kids and just to see us on the holidays and things like that. And we always have a beautiful connection when we meet. And what we see, I don't know if this is the difference between women and men, because we do talk well back into stuff. And we realize we've all experienced sort of very, relationships which are very difficult. And we can connect with that, and we can connect with our kids and how they're doing. And, not mine are in the same cities. I'm very lucky, but having your kids far away in these times, I imagine, is very difficult. But even just being there for our kids, because these are really strange times for young people, as you can absolutely. The lies, absolutely. And sometimes the struggle is internal, not really anything to do with anything external. 100. And absolutely. And that's what I was talking about. And if you saw the interview I did with, discussion I did with Kieran, my friend, who attempted to take her life and came to see Marooned and everything. She is one of those people that has this big smile on her face. And she said that it's what's going on inside and going on behind the scenes. And what her way was, she just stays home and often, well, I don't know if she stays home, but she often just hibernates to a point. I suppose even if she's out, she's just out and then back. And this is, you need to be able to, I don't get affected by what's going on in the world, but I do think young people do. Um, I think that's the thing they do more than ever. I know my son does. Um, you have a date night with your kids, so that's a really lovely thing. Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, I live with my daughter still, so but she lives with me still. But my son I don't see often. But I think, but I do call him a lot because absolutely, I let him tell me how he feels about stuff. And seriously, one of my dogs, I'm gonna give him hemp flower. He's suffering from depression. I reckon he's got depression. Iggy's got depression at the moment. He's gone very strange and won't eat unless I hand feed him, and I can't do that every bloody day. I think anything fun, absolutely. This is what we need to do. You see what Jeannie does with her kids. It's really lovely. She takes them all over the place and just has adventures. And we have to just not go into all the shit with them, not go into all the reasons which are bad in our past or stuff that's going on in the world, but just actually listen to them and let them offload, which is exactly the same for you, Anna. Just I hope you've got some people that you can just talk to, and just like I do with my friends, just be able to banter and offload, even if it sounds a bit over the top and dramatic. Doesn't really matter. We'd missed a lot of your interview. I know. Why is that? Did you want to sort of talk about that? Did you want to actually explain yourself why you haven't been watching them? Because I really have noticed, you have to give us some sort of excuse, a note from home or something about why you have missed them, because it's not really good enough. Yeah. Okay. I have got your comment up there, but I might not be putting your comment, so that's being silly, obviously. And here I've got Linda. Dottie is doing the same. Are you serious? Iggy was really slow, and he definitely has slowed down. And now, when is it from? Okay, so one day I had to go to work for the whole day, and so that was a longer day. And okay, well, I did stay over the night somewhere the other day, and seriously, I was in trouble in the morning. I was in trouble, and he's just done this thing where even if I hold the bowl up, he's like, no. But if I take it out and feed him like that, he'll eat it. So Dottie's doing the same. Wow, Iggy, Dottie, I'll send you down there because I'm a little bit concerned about when I'm filming. We need to push our issues. Yeah, I agree. So she took me seriously. Don't you take me seriously, Anna, please. I'm just being absolutely silly. Anyone you can catch up on them, but it's more I've been talking to people around this subject for a while. Turning 11 years old. Yeah. So but he's next year because he's a February. But I don't, Denise, so I don't buy tins. They have had no injections, my dogs, from me. They might have had a tiny bit before me, but I got them in when they weren't even one. I will be giving him more. I put some, he wouldn't take it through the dropper, so I put it in water, but I put some on his paw the other day and he licked it. You do need to talk. Okay, I'm going to find you. You do need to talk. We need to go for a coffee. Okay, I can't guarantee it's before I do the filming, but yes, I think who are you near? You're on the other side, aren't you? So what I give them is they have raw meat and they have the chicken necks, and then they have those silly ball things. Maybe it's in the silly ball things, but I'm going to give them. You're having hemp flour, Iggy, whether you like it or not. Okay. Yeah, he's just back to my bed. Spends most of the day on my bed. But they probably pick up because not last night, because I have got a nice human in my life. I wasn't here, and I got the stare. Where were you? Where have you been? The other day, especially from my little dog Olive. But anyway, enough about me. I'm not interested. I want to talk about other people, and I'm very interested. Anna, if you want to catch up at some point, absolutely, or even let's have a phone call. I've got your number, I think. Yeah. Chicken eggs are supposed to be good for their teeth as well. That's why. I tell people that they will go to sleep, but they'll wake up. Okay, so let's have a look about Dottie. Dottie has CBD oil intermittently. Is this the hemp flower though? Because Denise's hemp flower is is very different. If you look at the thing, yeah. Look, anybody want to? Well, we are talking, aren't we? I was going to say you can bring someone on if they want to. No, seriously, Anna, give me. I'm sure I've got your number, but we can talk through Messenger as well. But I'm just. I'm trying to totally organize the next few days or the next week so that I don't waste any time. So one of my cast is actually in England at the moment, and I'm a little bit terrified that he's back on the 14th. I'm sure he'll find a way, no matter what. The other actor has told me he's having a hernia operation on the 17th. Yeah, so this is the organic hemp flower oil, just 1 drop per 5 kilograms. Yeah, I think Iggy's about 20 kilograms. So I'll give him 3 or 4. And he's having a hernia operation on the 17th. And so we're going to have to film some of the scenes on the 18th. So I've got a way to work around that. I'm not going to give it away, but I've told him what we're going to do. Who's this? Jeanette. I found volunteering at food banks or going to old age centres and interacting with others is also good. Then, as usual, as myself, sometimes I think the stuff that might never happen and that can be a downer. I do have a lot of church friends as I'm a follower of Jesus, so I hand most things over to him. Yeah, but that's in the near future. Please do, or I'll contact you anyway, because everybody needs to talk. We just absolutely do. And when I say the sisters, that's just a group of us who've been sort of connecting over the last few years regularly, and there's about 6 there. But then I've got all these other half sisters, which are ones I've met on the beach, through all kinds of things, and you're one of those, Anna. Did everyone have a nice Easter? Oh, you've been sick in bed. That's not good. Hi, Madeline. I've just been working and just having a little bit of time off, but not much at all. And maybe give myself 1 day, and I'm just going to keep working until I get this thing shot. So after here, I've got to get back into scheduling and do a bit of shuffling around. So Madalena, you've opened up another business, which will get you to come and talk about that as well, because more and more we need to, so she's got 2 of her businesses, or 3 really, because there's the massage, your products, your beautiful creamy delicious products, and then now she's doing this shopping family thing, which we don't want to keep going to supermarkets, and we know that. My local one of the supermarkets I was going to sometimes, sorry Kerry, you've been unwell, because I need to get dog food and toilet paper and things like that. Safeway, well, that one. They've now got these bloody awful bar things to go into the shop, and I turned up there one day, saw that, I said no, No, I'm not going in there. I said, I'm not going into a prison. I'm not a convict or whatever. I'm not a, haven't stolen anything, or I won't. So I'm not going in. Sorry, I'm not, lost me. Anyway, and then I went back another day. I thought, I'm just going to see if they're still doing it. And then I realized you can actually slip in the other way. So if I do ever need to go in there, I'm not using that. I will keep going the other way. Which why should we feel, if they were worried about security, of course, why would they have all the self-serve things? They just get more people working there. So that's bullshit. They said it was about security. So there, I've said a big word on my podcast. Bullshit. Yes, that's true, but some things are beyond that. What's that to do with the process? Yes. Distractions can help to a point. Yeah. Sometimes things just need to be worked out. Absolutely. And also, I think for you, perhaps, yeah, you can go into a nursing home and things, but you're actually taking on, and it's not a bad thing. You're almost taking on somebody else's energy in that way. You're going there for them or doing good for them. And you actually want to be able to give yourself to someone else. Offload. Why not? Absolutely, you've got entitlement to offload and share your problems or share your feelings or how you're struggling. And that's what you want. You want someone just to be an ear for you. And I think that you should have no shame in feeling that. No shame at all. And we are all infallible, because one day you'll be there for somebody else. So that's it, you know? Oh, gastro. Okay. That's not good. Not good. Yeah, that's what I think. I had one beautiful client support that I've been supporting, not a year, but maybe about 9 months. And all he ever wanted was to go out to cafes and just talk. And he was really nice, 96 and a half. Anyway, he just passed away about 2 days ago, unfortunately. But the last time I saw him was in his rehab, and then he got moved to palliative afterwards. And but it was nice, because the last time I did see him, I took him out into the sun, and we ended up, like, he was reciting poetry, and I was looking it up, and I was reading it out, and he was listening, and it was just a really beautiful. So I'm saying that was just to do with the old people thing. It was a really lovely transaction, and I'm really glad that was the last time I saw him, because it was nice. It was really nice. Hi, Kathy. Now you've got some. I'm just going to go back into the notes a bit. You've got those barricades at the the insult. Absolutely. Yeah. You've got some physical things with, I believe, with eczema or something. Perhaps you need to try this oil. And asthma. You really should try Denise's oil. There we go. See, you're a carer too. So this is the only person I could get, and I'm not going to go into the big caring. So Marie's over where you are. That's what she does as well. Maybe you need to meet up with her. But Kathy, I would definitely recommend Denise's hemp flower oil. If you've and she's just recently burnt herself, I believe. It's beautiful stuff. I'm just going to put this other comment here. Hang on a sec. Can't really see what the comments are. Yeah, it just came naturally. And I stayed way longer than I normally would. Yeah, he was a lovely friend, but that was it. You know what? He was in the hospital, and he was not going to leave the hospital, and that's what happens often, So he was ready to go. I used to talk to him about, would you want to live to 100? And he said, why would I want to live to 100? So he didn't mind, and he was a Christian, and very. You did support for 10 years, yeah. Wow. I don't. I think I. Yeah. Well. Yeah. It is sad, but I think he's he's with his wife. He's gone to the right place, and he was 96 and a half. So I think um here we go. Just going to put Denise's other comment there. Been really upset. A friend I've known and supported for over 20 years has completely betrayed me. She's copied my. I did see that. Wow. So she's copied your products. Wow, wow, wow. No, that's. I wonder if you can actually. She's obviously not your friend anymore. I wonder if you can actually, you don't want to sue her, but that is copyright, or what is? Is there copyright with things like that? Because that's incredibly bad. That I have to say. Your products are very unique, like that beautiful oil for the face. I think I've got a bit left, but they're over there. I should have gone and brought them over here to show you. But definitely, please, I'm going to put it in again. I would. You must be. You must be. Please support Denise. Only go to hempflower.com.au. No other hemp place, because there's a word for it. Absolutely not good. Hang on, .com.au. That is really that is a huge betrayal. Yeah, sadly, I've lost a friend in a way. I mean, I don't feel I've lost. I haven't unfriended her. It's just she's got upset with me, and yeah, and I don't feel I've been worthy of it. But this is very different to what you've experienced there. And there is a word, yeah. Yeah. It's theft. Is that the word you're after? I see. Word for her. That's really bad, Denise. Please go to hempflower.com.au, and I really, Kathy, I would definitely recommend you use her products. Just go and try one of them, and you'll see how amazing they are. We need to, because I see that people put out their feelings a lot. You don't, Anna, and I understand that. I don't think it's nice. I don't think it's something we have to do. But if you feel and you're struggling, and you feel the right people will see your comments on Facebook, well, why not? But here we are, a community here talking about this stuff in this way. This is a connecting way. I don't know what else to say at the moment, except if you, only for the people who haven't, and to pass on if you can, if you know any businesses or any corporate businesses who do well and would want, maybe they've lost someone to suicide, would want to chip in and help raise this equal 10,000. To be honest, if I can get that with this 10,000, it covers most of my shooting rates for the crew and the location. Not myself. I'm not going to pay me till afterwards. But that would be incredible. That's what I'm going to try and do. Small bottle can last a person up to 6 weeks. You're only taking drops, not dropperfuls. There we go. Yeah. What? Oh my goodness. See? Now Anne is apologizing. Please do not apologize. This is the whole thing around it. You shouldn't feel any reason to apologize. You are a human being. You're a human being who's just actually opened up and said that you actually struggle. And that is not a bad thing. If you didn't, then you would be a robot. We've got feelings, we've got anger, we've got vulnerability, we've got happiness, we've got, over the toply happy. You must not. You must not. Did I miss out by a day? What does that mean? How do you move on when a friend treats you like that? Oh no, don't worry about me. I'm more concerned about Denise. I've had the same happen to me. I can't. Yeah, I'm not going to move. I'm going to try and deal with it later. I have been blocked. I have to forgive, and she hasn't done anything but to me. I don't. How do you move on, Denise? Though, how do you deal with that? And the fact that she's taken some of your friends, your customers, that is very bad. So arm has started to blister last night. Thank you for I have no car and I'm not in the best place financially at the moment. Yeah, I have to wait. I'll go to the pharmacy tomorrow for some advice. Well, maybe we can buy some for you. I can because the pharmacy will give you, for burns you want aloe vera and things like that, to be honest, as for topical. But if you could get the hemp flower, which is online, do you have any aloe vera in your garden or wherever you are? I don't even know where you are. Are you in Melbourne? Does anyone ever know where Kathy is? Oh, no, don't worry about Anna. Don't worry. I'll talk to you about that. I'm saying okay. Ho'oponopono prayer. What's that? I don't know what that is. See, the thing is, what you're saying, imagine the person and say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Yeah. I have said sorry to this person many times, but yeah, because if you've not done anything bad and you had no badness towards this person, which I have no bad or ill feeling towards this person, but they somehow think that I have, it's not my problem. It's their problem. So yes, we have to forgive them for that. Yeah, aloe vera is great for burns. And so, you know where she is. So that's the prayer. Yeah. I think we have to say that for a lot of things, a lot of people. Oh, you're in Sydney, Kathy. Okay. You're in Sydney. Stop. I know. She doesn't use credit cards. That's okay, Jan. Burn is quite nasty. Do you know what? You're in the western suburbs. So my sister's in Sydney. Yes, it can be applied to her. My sister's in Sydney, and she might have something that you can, and she can post it to you. I'll pay for it. Like a kind of she probably has aloe vera, but some sort of poultice, or what do you call it, which you can put over it. But at the same time, a burn needs air to heal, I believe. If you want to, if you cover it up, it's not like you're going to do well. Is that correct, everyone? Yeah, I know. We have to be forgiving of ourselves for everything. I know. We think that's another thing we were talking about the other day. We were talking about all the past stuffs in our lives and how we've I'm guilty of shit with the past relationship as far as my kids go. I wish I'd acted in a different way, but I have to forgive myself for that because I've already acknowledged it. I've already apologized. I've already accused myself of all kinds of things, but now you have to forgive and move forward as a better human being. So let's end today with that prayer. Where's it gone? Because I've got to go and do the thing now. Here we go. Let's all believe that we're sorry. Well, for us, forgive us. I love all of you, and thank you for watching today. Thank you so much for watching today. Anybody want to give any more tips for the burns? Because I think aloe vera is a good one for sure. And Sydney, I'm just asked about using. Yeah, that's fine, Anna. I don't absolutely don't worry about it. When we forgive others, we forgive ourselves. Yeah, that's what we were talking about the other day, and we were talking about talking and how. My friend was saying how she doesn't care anymore. She talks to everyone. She gives out her information. She gives her point of view, and she and where she is up in Alice Springs, it's very they like to try to do things by the book there. The workers she's with, and she says, "Oh no, I'm just going to do it my way." And I said, "That's really interesting because listen to this." And I played her the video I'd done to myself that morning, just all about that. So maybe this is the time to be in touch with what we want to say. Just don't hold back. Say what you want to say. Be who you want to be, or be who you are. That's the thing. Bandage on to prevent fluid leaking. Cool. Still try and find some aloe vera. I'll talk to my sister and see what she recommends, because she's in always forget where she is. It's like Campsie, which probably is nearish to you. Don't know. Yeah. So you're welcome, everybody. And I'm sorry if it was just a ramble, but it wasn't. It was a conversation with all of you. So little red tube pawpaw cream. Yeah, but that's got rubbish in it. That pawpaw. It's got a preservative in it. If you look at it, you want the natural stuff. This isn't a show. It's a talk. We're having an open talk. I'm just going to end with Madalena's products. I understand. I totally understand. But things like bad stuff like tetanus. Tetanus can't survive in the open air. It can't survive if it's with oxygen. So you'll be oxygenating it. I mean, petroleum. That's right. That's that pawpaw. It's got petroleum stuff in it. Anyway, so thank you all. I'll talk to Rohana, my sister, and we're all kind and caring. We're all kind and caring. I'm just doing this. So, as eats dead cells, skins, allows new to grow, and it's antibacterial. Yeah, but one of them hasn't got. Yes, one of them doesn't have the petroleum in it. I remember buying that years ago. So there's that, and there's aloe vera. You can get ready for your hemp flower oil. Goodbye, everyone. Have a beautiful day. And we'll meet again. I will have another show on the 13th because I'll be fine. All right. So thanks so much. Thanks for watching. Over and